Hey there, and welcome to my channel, The Paper Bag Investor. Today I want to ask the question, is Apple a threat to Tesla? I want to ask this question and explore this based around an article that was released today by Reuters. Am I saying that right? Reuters? Anyways, Reuters released an article saying that Apple plans to make their own electric vehicle by 2024 or 2025. Is that a threat to Tesla? My thoughts. Let's get into it. Before I go any further, I just want to make it absolutely clear, I'm not a personal financial advisor. None of this is personal financial advice. I'm just a guy with a paper bag on his head who loves investing and thinking about the future. And if you love investing, you love thinking about the future, I encourage you as well. Hit that subscribe button down below, follow along, and become a better investor with me as my channel grows. If you're wondering why the heck do I have a paper bag on my head, see the description down below. There's a video link where I explain some of that reasoning. I also want to say that I'm not an Apple fanboy by any stretch of the imagination, but I am a fan of Apple. I do like Apple. I do love their products. I have an iPhone. I think it's really great. And I am slowly kind of converting more and more to using Apple products exclusively for my electronics. So I do like Apple, but I'm not a fanatical Apple fanboy. I also want to mention that there will be a link to the Reuters article down below in the description as well if you want to read the original article and you haven't seen it already. Okay, so here's a few of my thoughts related to this article, related to the idea of Apple making electric vehicles. Number one is that these rumors are not new. There's been rumors circulating since 2015 that Apple has been planning to make their own electric vehicle, planning to make their own car. So just to hear that these are some rumors coming out, it's not even official, press release by Apple. It's just kind of anonymous source cited that says that Apple is planning to do this and still planning with a goal of 2024, 2025 for their EV. Okay, so nothing really new here. The next point I want to make is that it could possibly even be, we have no way of knowing this for sure, but it could possibly even be a short seller who has a very large position. It said there's only a couple people cited in this article as sort of the anonymous source. Could be someone with a very large short position who just kind of knows there's some truth to this rumor, but is pushing this with a short interest in the stock, knowing that the Tesla shares might come down a little bit just on this news, and then they close their short position after making a profit. That is one possible scenario. Point number three I want to make is that 2024 or even 2025 is quite late. Tesla deliveries by that time will be in the millions. By then, their production and their deliveries will be in the millions. Even next year, there's a decent chance they could do 1 million deliveries next year. So by 2024, 2025, they're going to be doing several million vehicles a year of production, maybe even 10 million, something in that kind of order magnitude, maybe even higher than that. So for for Apple to only be starting or really sort of plan to have their first production vehicles in production in the hands of customers by 2024, 2025 is pretty slow timeline, and a little bit sad that they couldn't be they've been talking about this for 5 years. They don't actually have something, that they're planning to release late next year, in small numbers just to actually showcase what it is. So that's not a good sign, really. Are they a competitor to Tesla? Not a great sign, just sort of seeing that timeline. So point number four is they would likely outsource manufacturing. And this is versus Tesla's approach where they manufacture all their vehicles in-house. And Elon's even said that one of the biggest traits or skills or sort of value items that he hopes Tesla will bring over time, is bringing and will continue to bring, is their manufacturing. And the machine that makes the machine, right? And so for Apple just to say that they would likely have someone else outsource that and have somebody else make the manufacturing means they're kind of leaving some chips on the table or giving some of that value, the value proposition away to other manufacturers. It's also typically, if you have someone else making your product for you, you don't have the same kind of understanding or control or nuance of being able to sort of fully tweak or improve the product in all dimensions for the user, for the end users, but also in the manufacturing sense of how it's manufactured, the manufacturability of the product. So again, it's not bad. It might make sense for Apple, but doesn't really thrill you to be an Apple investor in that sense. Point number 5 is that Apple plans with their full self-driving with their electric vehicles, their approach, it sounds like from the article, that they would plan to use LIDAR. And I've sort of banged this point over my viewers' heads in lots of other videos that I've done, but I really don't think or believe that LIDAR is a scalable approach, at least in my understanding of LIDAR and how it's being used by full self-driving companies. I don't think it's a scalable approach. Great example is Waymo. Google's Waymo that's been using LIDAR for years, and really all they have right now is a portion of Phoenix that they have full self-driving vehicles driving around in. It's going to be very hard. The way the LIDAR approach to full self-driving just does not scale. It takes the equal amount of work to sort of progress every inch of the progression of full self-driving versus Tesla's approach, which is a vision-only approach, a vision with a brain, sort of a building the brain and a vision approach, which once you learn to drive, you can learn to drive in different scenarios, and then you can basically drive everywhere. And this is an extremely scalable approach. So I don't think Apple's approach is a good approach whatsoever. And this leads us to point number 6, which is that Tesla will sell vehicles at or near cost and make all their money from full self-driving. On Battery Day, Elon said that the future value of Tesla would basically be the value of full self-driving, at least the vehicle side of Tesla, and that they would probably be selling their vehicles at or near cost because he wants to make them as attractive price-wise just to buy a vehicle as possible. And I think this approach makes sense. It's really, really genius for Tesla. And most of the value, I've done lots of other videos on this as well, most of the value is going to come from full self-driving software. Whether that's the upfront cost of you paying for the software, maybe it's $50,000, $100,000 just to buy the software package for your vehicle, whatever it is, or they're going to take a take rate from robotaxi kilometers or miles driven. So every robot, just like you hire an Uber now, and a portion goes to Uber, a portion goes to the driver. Tesla is going to have taxi network where a portion goes to the vehicle owner, and then also a portion goes to Tesla. And they're just going to make a ton of money from this. And so if really this is the way, it's going to be hard for other electric vehicle makers to really compete in this arena with Tesla unless they have full self-driving. If you don't have full self-driving, basically Tesla's selling their vehicles, which are going to be, leading class, going to be the best of the best of electric vehicles as far as I can tell. And you're going to have competitor product, and they're going to be selling them pretty much at cost or near cost. They could even sell the vehicle itself at a loss, and then they just make all the money still from the full self-driving. And then you have competitors like Apple, you have competitors like NIO, and they're going to be trying to sell their vehicle at the same price, but what value do they bring? Even if they were just exactly as good as a Tesla, they would literally not make any money on their vehicles because Tesla could just sell their vehicles at cost. So it's hard for me to imagine how these other electric vehicle companies will really compete in this area unless they have actually level 5 regulator approved full self-driving, which with a LIDAR approach, I don't think is going to happen. This leads me to point number 7, my last final point I want to make here and talk about today. If you're getting value out of this video, by the way, I encourage you hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already. Hit that thumbs up. I hope you're enjoying this video and you're getting value out of it. Some of these thoughts. Okay, now point number 7. Even if Apple does make a compelling EV, electric vehicle, I think it's good for electric vehicle adoption and infrastructure. So even if maybe Tesla doesn't ever reach full self-driving, maybe no one can ever reach full self-driving level 5, but there's this electric vehicle space and Apple's competing in that space by making electric vehicles. I think at this point in time, for the next number of years, it's actually still going to be good for Tesla and for all the electric vehicle makers in that space because they are quite different than a gas vehicle, and because there's different things to learn and understand about, using an electric vehicle, and because there's infrastructural changes that need to take place, charging at your home, where you have to upgrade your electrical panel, or there's supercharging stations by Tesla and by others that need to be built out across the world. These are major sort of infrastructural changes that need to happen, and they benefit all EV companies, all EV manufacturers. As more and more people talk about EVs, understand EVs, drive EVs, see why they're superior, it sort of helps all EVs across the board. So in that case, it doesn't scare me at all that there'd be competitors like Apple in that arena. It could actually be a benefit for Tesla. Yeah, those are some of my thoughts. What do you guys think? Is there anything I missed? Is Apple a threat to Tesla? Yes or no? I want to hear from you guys in the comments down below. Let us know, let each other know. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. Subscribe button is right down there. Smash the like button if you haven't already. Leave that comment. And until next time, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.